we're going to do, we're going to make a solder joint using an integral solder ring fitting. Slightly different than the end feed fitting in the fact that the solder is already in the fitting there, the ring of solder in both sides. So what we'll need is flux, gas torch, a wet rag and steel wool, heat-proof mat, and most importantly our PPE. Make sure we wear goggles. First thing I'm going to do is clean the end of the pipe, make sure it's nice and clean. We've already cut the pipe to length, it's already deburred. Again, check the fitting is as clean as the pipe, just in case it's been laying around and there's no rubbish in there. Using the flux brush, we just apply a small amount of flux around the length of pipe that is going to go into the fitting. Not too much flux, just enough to smear all the way around the edge. Make sure the fitting goes all the way on, pushing the pipe in, put a mat on. Again, make sure that we, when we are soldering, that we put the mat against the wall, make sure it's a clean edge against the wall so as we don't leave any dirty marks on the customer's wall. Using the blowtorch, we don't need too fierce a flame, just enough heat. Now obviously we're not going to use solder because the solder is already in the fitting, so it's just a case of playing the flame not directly into the fitting, but just underneath the fitting, just so as we get heat going around the fitting. And once the solder starts to appear, the joint will have been made. You can just see the solder appearing. It's just gone all the way around. Allow the solder to cool down. About 30 seconds is long enough. It's just so as we don't put the damp rag on there too quickly and then the solder will perhaps fracture and causing the fitting to leak. So usually about 30 seconds is enough. And then just using a damp rag, all we're going to do is cool the rest of the fitting down, wiping the excess flux off. Getting behind the fitting. And with a bit of steel wool, again make sure that we got all of that flux off so as it doesn't corrode the pipe. There we have a solder joint. Solder's gone all the way around. Quite happy that won't leak.